we are covering supervision standards and adult-to-child ratios, a critical component of the Child Development Associate or CDA exam. This topic is central to Competency Standard 1, to establish and maintain a safe, healthy learning environment. On the exam, you won't just be asked to define these terms. You'll be given real-world scenarios to assess, making practical application essential for passing. A common exam question will describe a classroom scene and ask you to identify the supervisory weakness. For example, a teacher is fully engaged with a small group of children doing an art project, but the scenario subtly mentions another child is in the reading nook, partially obscured by a bookshelf. This is a classic test of active supervision, which is more than just being present in the room. Active supervision requires 3 distinct actions. First is maintaining constant line of sight and sound with all children. Second is the habit of continuously scanning the entire environment and counting the children in your care. Third is strategic positioning, which means placing yourself in a location that gives you the broadest possible view of the classroom or playground. A frequent exam trap is presenting a teacher who is doing something parsitive, like reading a story, but is positioned in a way that creates a blind spot. Your job is to recognize that no activity, however valuable, can compromise total supervision. Effective supervision is impossible without appropriate adult-to-child ratios. The CDA exam will expect you to know the best practice standards set by the National Association for the Education of Young Children, or NAEYC. For infants up to 15 months, the ideal ratio is 1 adult for every 4 infants, with a maximum group of 8. For toddlers, the ratio is 1 adult for every 6 children. For preschoolers aged 3 to 5 years, the recommended ratio is 1 adult for every 10 children, with a maximum group size of 20. Here is a major point of confusion the exam might exploit: the difference between NAEYC recommendations and your state's legal licensing requirements. State laws are the mandatory minimum, and they can sometimes be less strict than NAEYC standards. An exam question could present a scenario that meets the state's minimum but fails to meet NAEYC's best practice. Unless the question specifies otherwise, always choose the answer that aligns with the higher NAEYC standard, as the CDA credential is based on demonstrating high-quality practices. To help you remember the core of active supervision in any scenario, use the mnemonic SCP, scan, count, position. Before settling into any one spot or activity, quickly ask yourself, can I scan the entire area, can I count every child, and am I positioned for maximum visibility? This mental shortcut, SCP, will help you correctly analyze exam scenarios and apply these principles during your verification visit, where an observer will be actively watching how you supervise children in real time. For free practice questions, AI-powered explanations, and more exam prep tools, visit openexamprep.com. That's openexamprep, all one word, .com.